Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Talos Principle 2. Can't remember what it was that we were doing. I think I was trying to figure out how to activate the shrine. That one right there. Means I need to get a red beam to this one. And I am fairly certain that this puzzle here is required to do so because it has a hidden connector over here, despite the fact that there's nothing in this puzzle that requires a connector. But at the moment, I have been unable to figure out any way to get a red beam to this puzzle, because there is not one in it. Makes me think there has to be like another thing somewhere. If I can hold this thing in my hand, if I see anything out the door that you can connect to. No. See over there. Reach that. Got to be something else here somewhere that we can connect to. But since I don't see anything yet, that makes me pretty sure I've got to go find the source first. And that might be finish the other puzzles, which is what I think I'm going to actually do. So let us proceed. Puzzle 5. I also feel like we came down here last time and Puzzle 5 may have melted my brain. No, I don't think I ever tried Puzzle 5 because this doesn't look familiar. Bridging the gap. And we do have a red beam down here. however, need that. Although, also be a good time to see anything around here to connect this feed to. Like a pylon or something. Not currently seen one. Yeah, we did this, right? This is the crosser. No. Document. And Trevor. Okay, puzzle 6. Displacement. Okay. Okay, that holds that open. What do we got over here? Huh.
Having a friend like Byron is a rare blessing. Someone who listens to you, who disagrees, but still appreciates your thoughts. The more we explore this island, the more convinced I become that he was wrong. And the megastructure is a threat to all of us. But without people like him, I'm not sure New Jerusalem is worth saving.
I don't see anything to connect to. At least for now. Above. That's promising. So let's just go back and forth. Okay, do I see anything up here that needs a hole punched in? No. Back down here. So there's nothing down here on the ground. Looks like no. Back up we go. Okay, that comes over here and it opens up the gate. I'm going to take the inverter with me. I can actually take them both with me. We're gonna do that. maintain its connection. It does. Well, it works. I don't feel like it's the correct answer, but it works.
An excellent solution.
If there's going to be a place, access up above, this feels like it's going to be it. Still not seeing anything though. We'll take care of 8, and then we'll investigate further. As we also haven't done both triangles. Preliminary. That. There. Need it over here. Okay, and now play. Now we need... done all the puzzles down here. Back up top to do the other triangle puzzle. If, of course, I can find it. Okay, that's a gold puzzle. Which we're still a ways off from unlocking. And come in here. Reason. The answer to that is no, not important. At least not at this time. And that's puzzle 1. Puzzle number 2. There's a triangle over here. I don't know if it's one's already done or not. Convolution. Ah, that's a promising name. I was actually expecting it like that button was going to unlock a door somewhere else. Hmm. Ah, have an idea. If I do that, back over here, to that, and launch this. Okay, I still have to do one more step. I kind of hoped it would just, you know, work, but it of course does not. Now we're connected to both those. Pick you back up. Pick you. That. Now. Oh. No, I just messed that up. We're almost there. Now we come in here, pick you up, move you over here. Here, pick this up, move it over here, and now we're done. Alright, now we've completed all the puzzles. Huh. Okay. This is something. What is it? I don't know. But it is something. That can't reach. This one. Can. I don't know what that just did. It did something. Appears to be powering something up there. The question is can I see what it's powering from down here, or do I have to get up there to see? So we're going to loop around so we can see this tower from the other side and see what it looks like. I'm not seeing anything from down here. Doesn't mean there's nothing down here. Let's go ahead and climb up. Or, well, do the whole thing when we get up there.
Prometheus was bound for many years, his torment seemingly eternal, until one day, Zeus commanded his son, the great hero Heracles, to free the Titan from the rock. Why did Zeus relent? Is helping those you love more important than justice? A foolish answer, honest and unconsidered. I hope you find the wisdom in it. A time of dreams is at hand, creature of clay. To save your friend, you must do as Heracles did. But what will follow, none can see.
Well, at least this part is consistent. The megastructure is opening again.
All right, everyone. Assemble at the VTOL as soon as possible. Melville, keep an eye on the energy readings, please.
Well, we have made a change on top of the tower. So maybe that means we can see something from over here now that we couldn't before. There's something up there. Okay, progress has been made. I gotta get a red beam up there. Which I might be able to do from the same place that I got the blue one. Because I'm using two. Two connectors. Actually, confusingly enough, but now it's only showing one beam. It was showing two. here and grab this thing. Actually, I guess this thing here. Just in case I need both of these to do this. Huzzah.
There is no tool that is not also a weapon, and no human that would not wield it as one.
Alright. Off to the big tower we go. Hopefully to save Byron, but I expect what's actually going to happen is everybody else on the team is going to get captured. Then I'm going to have to save everybody alone.
You all know I don't share Byron's enthusiasm for the megastructure. I don't know if the Founder really intended for us to be here, and I certainly don't trust this Prometheus entity. But Byron is one of us, and we don't leave people behind.
Amen.
So we're
Alcatraz.
finding Prometheus and freeing him, whether Pandora likes it or not. Here's how this mission is going to go. 1K, it's clear to me that you have some kind of special affinity for this place, and that the entities respond to you more strongly than they do to us. So, once you're inside, I want you to take point. Do whatever you need to free Prometheus, but remember that our prime objective is to save our friend. Melville, I want you to stay at the VTOL and let Yakut and 1K go in. I'm going to stay behind as protocol requires. I don't love the idea of sitting this one out. Byron is my oldest friend, but we're doing this by the book.
All right, I'm taking us in. Let's hope we can find the big guy.
Dearest Athena, I don't know if you will see this. You have become even more distant from the affairs of New Jerusalem than I have. I miss speaking to you and Cornelia, and I fear that some of your estrangement is my own fault. I know things are not as you had wished them. The city is drifting away from the bold vision you established. This is not because of your leadership or lack thereof. You did not fail. I did. I know I've said it before, but the New Alexandria disaster was my fault. I'm the one who took the initiative, and I'm the one who made the mistake. Yes, there should have been procedures, but in my role to create such procedures, but it was my role to create such procedures, not yours. I wish I had listened to Byron when he said that we had to establish another settlement immediately. Learn from the pain, don't let it fester. He was right. That's where the rot set in, and I'm sorry. With love, Eustathius. If my work has meant something to you, if Athena had any kind of impact on you, if some story and wonder tales from the periphery moved you, made you think, then there is something about myself that I need to share with you. It's the only autobiographical fact I have any interest in sharing, the only thing about me that matters to you outside my work. Every breath that I take, and so every story that I write, is only possible because of technology. There are no natural remedies, no spiritual alternatives for what I was born with. My existence is wholly contingent upon the level of technological sophistication which was heretofore unimaginable, and which will, in many ways, define the coming era. When you long for the return to simpler times, you wish for a world in which I could not exist. If you are looking for answers, consider the fact that I was granted the blessing of this technology despite being born into poverty and my writing never having been particularly lucrative. The civilizational structures I live within were arranged in such a way that the technology would be deployed to save my life. And are the structures not also, at the end of the day, a kind of machine? What is the state? What is civilization, if not a machine? Think about what this means, what this is. Is it systemic compassion? Is it liberation from nature? Is it the equality of opportunity? Whatever your belief system, think hard about what it means that I am alive because of these machines, and I have created something that matters to you. I wonder if this is actually the writer of the game speaking to. All the towering materialism which dominates the modern mind rests ultimately upon one assumption, a false assumption. It is supposed that if a thing goes on repeating itself, it is probably dead, a piece of clockwork. People feel that if the universe was personal, it would vary. If the sun were alive, it would dance. This is a fallacy, even in relation to known fact. For the variation in human affairs is generally brought into them, not by life, but by death, by the dying down of or breaking off of their strength or desire. Man varies his movements because of some slight element of failure or fatigue. But perhaps God is strong enough to exult in monotony. It is possible that God says every morning, "Do it again," to the sun, and every evening, "Do it again," to the moon. It may not be an automatic necessity that makes all daisies alike. It may be that God makes every daisy separately, but has never got tired of making them. It may be that he has the eternal appetite of infancy, for we have sinned and grown old, and our Father is younger than we are. It is strange. The idea is delightful, but it's also completely and obviously untrue. That's one of many reasons Chesterton is worth reading. He's wrong about a lot of things, but he's wrong about them in an interesting way. It's such a shame, though. He seems to want to restore the magic of the world, but he can only re-enchant the surface, whereas the true magic, the perfect beauty that feels like revelation, is found underneath in what he dismisses as clockwork. Day 680. New Jerusalem. That's the name that we picked. Am I sad that my suggestion didn't win? Maybe a little. But it is a good name, a fitting name, a name that we can be proud of. With it comes a new kind of optimism. Everyone is thinking of the future, once more. I, for one, am glad that we have recovered our equilibrium and our destination. Athena and Cornelius are certainly bustling with plans and bright visions of. And when they tell us of these dreams of theirs, it's hard not to be drawn in by the pretty pictures they paint. Speaking of which, I am becoming more and more fascinated with ancient human art, and thinking about our own role in taking the next step in the long history. Citizens of Gehenna found meaning in art, and they were imprisoned. A free people should be able to accomplish so much more. Anything to say, Yaku? No. You are scanning another elevator. You know what's going to happen in a minute. You're going to get sucked right into it. Clock. Do we have time manipulation about to happen?
Yay! I found another elevator. My favorite. Once again, I have no idea where I am. No sign of Prometheus so far. Hope you're doing better, 1K. I know I've said this before, but look at the size of this. How can all of this be one machine?
It is what you get when one machine builds a bigger machine, which builds an even bigger machine.
That's our whole history, isn't it? The whole history of humankind. And it's not just machines. It's science, it's literature. Knowledge builds on knowledge.
We are riding a series of elevators. I think I just found Prometheus.
Be careful, 1K. We don't know what's down there.
He's been holding that position for too long. We've unchained him and his arms don't move. Go this way? There we go. That's right. Oh, my brain really starts twitching when gravity becomes a suggestion. That goes somewhere else. Option over here. I do not believe so. Might just be a shortcut out. Oh, well, this is ominous. I'm lucky to be alive. I wasn't really paying attention to where I was going and just walked right off this edge. like the bees sound. Hey, Yaku.
I don't think you can get up here, 1K. Guess I'll have to do a puzzle after all. It can't be that hard, right? It's not like everyone is depending on me. But if this has to connect over here, then... Wait. If I do this, and then that... What? I did it! Wow! I feel really smart. Also, never doing that again.
I thank you, Son of Man, for breaking my chains. Too long has the flame been hidden by fear and mystery. It is time to put away these childish things and for you to know the truth of the Alpha and the Omega, of the beginning and the end. I will send you visions of the truth, but remember that prophecies are a heavy burden.
New Jerusalem sounds like such a beautiful place. So, how did you decide to leave? I know what we're trying to accomplish here, and I believe in it. But for you, New Jerusalem was home. What changed that?
It took me a long time to realize that something was wrong. Oh, I'd noticed that something was off, that something had changed since the early days, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. So I ignored it. And then one day I woke up to realize I was no longer Athena. Instead, I had been transformed into the Founder, a remote figure of legend, mythologized in my own time.
But if it bothered you, couldn't you just talk to them? If you share the truth with someone, they should change their mind, shouldn't they?
Oh, I wished it worked that way, Miranda, I really do, but I barely knew the last generations. In the beginning, I was there for every birth. I explained our history, talked about our future, but at some point I got so busy building that future that I lost touch. They thought of me as a remote figure because that's what I was.
But can you change that?
I tried, but they already saw me as the founder. The myth was too powerful, and it was already taking on a life of its own. I'd set a goal of 1,000 citizens. The number was arbitrary. Just a nice round number, nothing more. But just like I became the founder, it became the goal. Another part of the myth. And maybe that could have been all right. Myths are a part of who we are, but something else crept in. The old human self-hatred.
So why didn't you just tell them to change? To go a different way? They would have listened to you.
No, they would have obeyed me, like my siblings in the simulation had obeyed. And that's when I realized I had to leave.
We can show them the future, Miranda, but we can't force them to accept it.
I have it. After all this time, I have it. I finally have it. The mechanics of the cosmos. From quarks to galactic filaments. Everything that makes the world what it is, makes us who we are. In a single equation. The key to understanding the machine that is the universe, and to controlling it. A theory of everything. And she was right. The language of creation is a melody, and it's beautiful. Every future is possible now. Every future, except one with Miranda in it. I can do anything, except bring her back. Or unbreak Cornelius's heart.
Gates of Horn and Ivory.
Byron was right. The founder was always a fiction. She's just a person.
A theory of everything. She solved it. She solved the last puzzle.
You need to get out of there. We'll talk about this later.
All this time, we thought we were honoring Athena, but all we did was betray everything she believed in. She must have been so lonely. We might as well have exiled her. Maybe that's what all this is about. The puzzles, the towers, the entities. It's a test. A way for us to prove that we're worthy of her legacy.
I'm waiting for Pandora to show up.
Finally, it all makes sense. Anti-gravity, matter synthesis, teleportation. It's not just one new technology. It's control over physics. Manipulating the base layer of reality itself. Rearranging the building blocks of the universe. If we can gain control of the megastructure, we can do anything we want. I'm not even talking about our energy problem. We can build anything we want. We can go anywhere we want. It's all up to us.
That's what Athena wanted for us. To give us a chance to be who we want to be.
But it's infinite power. And infinite power is scary.
Is everyone okay?
All good. I'm taking us back now.
That's a relief. Meanwhile, there's been a development. You'll see when you land. How are things on your end?
The energy fluctuations seem to be dying down. Looks like the system is coming out of lockdown.
Good. Let's hope we don't regret this.
And these energy clouds just fly about?
Oh,
That
no.
seems terribly dangerous.
We haven't had any problems so far.
Except for losing one of the first companions, of course. No, I don't blame you, Al. I know what he's like. And I'm the one who agreed to all this in the first place. That's why I had to see it for myself. It is dreadfully imposing, though, isn't it? Hard to believe the founder would build something so sinister.
The mayor's here?
Well, this should be interesting.
Ah, 1K. Welcome back. I'm sure you're surprised by my presence here.
He brings
Don't worry,
security
neither
guards.
I nor my advisors will be getting in your way. But I've decided that I need to see this place for myself. These visions sent to you by the entity that calls itself Prometheus are deeply concerning, of course. But we cannot take them at face value. In fact, it's crucial that we do
mean
not do so.
The face value that
We
tells you
cannot
your
simply
entire job
abandon
was
all
a
that we
lie.
believe because of a dream, no matter how vivid.
And I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter which button I'm going to say here, but I'm going to say but.
No. If the founder really built all this, then it must have a purpose. It must be a test, designed to remind us of the trials that created us. But what is she trying to tell us? What are we being tested for? I believe that Byron's fate shows us the dangers of temptation. As Elohim attempted to deceive Athena in the simulation, commanding her not to ascend, so Prometheus is deceiving us with his visions.
I'm reserving judgment for
That's only reasonable, but I would ask you to think about what I said. After all, can it really be a coincidence that you came along on this mission? It seems to me that you have been chosen. You are the fulfillment of the goal. Don't forget that.
We can now go to the other three towers. Okay. Western Delta 1.
How's the system looking, Melville? Any obvious changes?
It's still a mess, but things are clearing up. I can access some of the subroutines that I was locked out of before. Nothing is obviously malfunctioning, I think.
Does it still accord special significance to 1K?
Yes, it recognizes 1K as a user. I'm just hacking things.
As I suspected, the founder sees you, 1K.
Hermanubis is crazy. It shall be seen what kind of crazy.
Hi, 1K. It's a myth, it's a symbol, but mostly, it's just a goal. Holistic, tech-assisted, communal utopia. I'd settle for nudging the needle. Not totally implausible. I wouldn't be able to resist taking a look. Given Byron's disappearance and the political struggle surrounding the Somnodrome, it seemed logical to adjust my priorities. We respected each other, and I supported him. We had our philosophical differences, of course. He placed much greater emphasis on the individual than I did, but overall, I think he was our best bet. Still is, I hope. That's because I find such conversations boring.
What can I do for you, 1K? As a journalist, I think the line between speculation and disinformation is too thin for me to engage in guessing games. It's a complex issue, and I think it should be left to experts. I believe that journalism serves an important function in our society, and I'm dedicated to reporting the truth with accountability and responsibility. It means understanding that I can't just publish things without considering their impact. Serious disruptions to the social fabric of New Jerusalem could endanger lives. That's not journalism anymore.
Oh. This is the one we were speaking to. And we've been speaking to Crier before. Searching for question marks. Okay, got a triangle. Whatever this one is real close. Lore. Give me lore. We live in a decaying system, which in turn produces ideologies of decay to justify its existence. No matter what cultural signifiers they get packaged with, these ideologies come down to the same material result: a future in which, for the average person, there is less of everything. To paraphrase Mark Fisher, we find it easier to imagine the decline of civilization than to imagine a civilization worth living in. Those of us who still believe that humanity can thrive, that there is a path forward other than willful or accidental decay, are out of sync with the system. No matter how we phrase our arguments, they will be perceived in terms of whatever cultural signifiers the listener opposes. It's deeply frustrating, depressing, even infuriating situation. But what can we do except patiently explain and hope conditions change? In other words, what can we do except have faith? This was written only a few months before the discovery of the virus. There was no time for conditions. Day 882. It's been a while since I last wrote an entry in my journal. Much has changed in me. We've put a good chunk of the planned living quarters, and the old storage facility has been converted into a movie theater. So, we still argue a lot. But now it's mostly about which film we'll be watching next. Other construction efforts are going well too, although we've begun to run out of readily accessible resources. Our scavenging expeditions are ranging further and further afield, and with each passing month, and the sites that they have reported on sound truly marvelous. One day I might want to go see for myself. It's a good thing in that regard that we're getting 2 citizens soon, because everyone is as busy as ever. More hands to help us build our future. I can't wait to meet them. Speak, Trevor.
How is this supposed to work? The system is meant to last centuries. Centuries! And yeah, Chernyshevsky's plan, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But I'm working with hardware that was deliberately designed to fail. Planned obsolescence, baby. Selling broken garbage just to make another buck. A buck you can't even spend because in a few more weeks, we'll be extinct. Was it worth it? That's the part that Alexandra doesn't see. The greed, the stupidity, the selfishness, the way that we created this whole situation in the first place. She wants you to be like us, but if you ask me, there's a whole lot of human history and behavior you can just throw away, chuck it in the trash, right? You have a chance at a fresh start. Make the best of it.
That doesn't look good. Well, I thought I could actually see through that for a minute. Or maybe actually I can't. Maybe it was just a rendering thing. War is the crudest, most obscene human activity. It may justly be called an abomination, for it is the absolute negation of conscious human will. There is only a singular cause for war, for all the endless deceptions that are foisted upon us, and that is the acquisition of resource, Varied ideologies are constructed to justify this crude behavior, this childish degeneration of thought and communication. But history reveals the ruthless, unflattering truth. We imagine crusaders as fanatics of a cause, willing to die for their religion. Yet the Fourth Crusade culminated not in the conquest of Jerusalem, but in the looting of Constantinople, setting the stage for the triumph of the very enemy the Crusaders claimed to oppose. Why? The answer, as with every war, is the same. It is popular amongst the ghouls of the establishment and their misanthropic friends in the intelligentsia to ascribe the persistence of war to human nature. But a careful observation of the facts reveals that the opposite is true. Individual human beings must be broken in order to submit to war, their minds distorted by ideology and their bodies by poverty and ruthless training to make them compliant. Without force, the majority of human beings only seek to protect themselves and are traumatized by the act of killing. But if it is resources that are the core cause of war, then it is only in the production and distribution of resources that an answer may be found. It is not enough to morally condemn war. We must work to prevent the material issues that endanger us all. Dear Founder, I am afraid that we are losing our humanity. We're angry at each other, always disagreeing about everything, unable to forgive each for being different. I don't know how much longer and I don't know what could save us. Please help us, Founder. Please. Huta, 972. I just wish I knew why you didn't tell me. Who do you think you are, playing God like that? When Mother Nature has finally found a way of getting rid of us, you come up with this harebrained scheme to keep our destruction of the planet going? Just try for 1 second to think about something other than your own arrogance and hubris, Alexander. Try to imagine what you're really doing here. Without your robotic perversions, the future looks beautiful. No more humans murdering everything in their path. The skies clear up, the stars become visible again, the rivers stop being filthy, and after a few decades, they're full of fish again. Dolphins and whales roam the seas like their ancestors did. The cities turn into jungles. Bats nest in the skyscrapers where hedge fund managers used to ruin lives. The Earth lives on as it was meant to, peacefully and quietly, until someday in the distant future when it all ends like it was all meant to. Or we take your path. We continue our rampage, place ourselves above the animal. We think we know better than Mother Nature. We violate the boundaries. We ruin all purity. Perhaps we even defy death, just so that we can keep spreading our filth. Then we spread to other planets and do more of the same. And in the end, what have we left behind but plastic and radiation? Think, Alexandra, isn't it better for the beauty to return to the Earth, for us to acknowledge that intelligence was a mistake and to gracefully exit while we can? Stop this. Go spend time with your friends and loved ones before the end. Let it go. Let us all go. Let there be peace. I don't understand how someone could hate humanity so much. This person must have been full of sadness and frustration to write something so ugly. I've tried to understand it as well, but I still don't. In killing a philosopher for asking questions they did not like, the Athenians committed themselves to a tragedy with an ironic ending. Some will say that his true crime was his friendship with Alcibiades, the shameless deceiver of idiots and buffoons, and the insipid brute Critias, and that he was executed as an enemy of democracy. That he was the latter can hardly be denied, for Socrates asked not too many questions, but too few, or he would not have survived the rule of the 30 tyrants. Yet in the end, he got what he had asked for. A tyrannical decision made by would-be wise men against the spirit of freedom, which he obeyed like a knave, and the Athenians, in fulfilling his wishes, strangled the roots of democracy while seeking to preserve it. Ouch. No wonder Stratton wasn't popular. People who speak the truth at all times rarely are. So, no overload in here. I'm seeing my own reflection in the metal. That's what that was. Pan around, we have questions.
What can I do for you? It's possible. I won't trust Prometheus until he actually leads us to Byron, but yeah, seems likely. But even if it is a myth, that doesn't mean we can just abandon it. Myths can contain elements of truth, and I think this one exists for a reason. Maybe we had to create this imaginary founder because the real one lost her way. It's the only way I can explain what she's built here. She got wrapped up in her ideas and lost all sense of perspective. People have thought they understood everything before. Obviously, Athena has unlocked tremendous powers, but forgive me if I'm skeptical that her theory really encompasses everything. Not just our ability to know, but our need to know. More equations aren't going to make us any happier. Byron couldn't stand him. Have you ever tried asking the mayor a difficult question? He used to say. But I think he does an all right job, to be honest. I try to stay out of their circuits, and they try to stay out of mine. Helga is an old friend, but the others, they're not my crowd. He's smarter than people give him credit for. There's more to some folks than meets the eye, you know.
Athena, I know that we didn't have the greatest relationship, and I frequently antagonized you. The truth is, I resented you, resented this mythology of the Founder. I thought you had created it deliberately, as a way of controlling us. I wanted so badly to be free, and you seemed to stand in the way of that. Only after you left and the cult of personality grew even wilder did I realize it was actually a burden and an impediment. When they turned your myth into the opposite of everything you actually believed, started tearing down your dreams in your own name, I realized I'd wronged you. And now I'm less free than ever. I feel the walls crushing me. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. I don't know if coming back would fix things. But I'm sorry. Aurinia, 342. After 1 billion years, when Atlas had grown old and tired and holding up the world, he was faced with a dilemma. Heracles, the son of Zeus, was on his way to the garden of the Hesperides to claim the golden apples, which were guarded by the dragon Ladon. Zeus came to Atlas and promised that if Atlas helped Heracles slay the dragon, Zeus would free Atlas from the burden. But Atlas, seeing the beauty and innocence of Ladon, beloved of the Hesperides, could not slay the beast. Instead, he stole the apples and gave them to Heracles. And so, he was condemned to bear the weight of the cosmos for another 1 billion years. But, though Atlas grieved for his freedom, he was comforted by watching Ladon flourish in the verdant garden. Sympathy with pain there will, of course, always be. It is one of the first instincts of man. The animals, which are individual, the higher animals, that is to say, share it with us. But it must be remembered that while sympathy with joy intensifies the sum of our joy in the world, sympathy with pain does not really diminish the amount of pain. It may make man better able to endure evil, but the evil remains. Sympathy with consumption does not cure consumption. That is what science does. Christ made no attempt to reconstruct society, and consequently, the individualism that he preached to man could be realized only through pain or in solitude. The ideals that we owe to Christ are the ideals of the man who abandons society entirely, or of the man who resists society absolutely. But man is naturally social. Even Even the Trebade became peopled at last, and though the Cenobite realizes his personality, it is often an impoverished personality that he so realizes. Shallow speakers and shallow thinkers in pulpits and on platforms often talk about the world's worship of pleasure and whine against it, but it is rarely in the world's history that its ideal has been one of joy and beauty. When you tell people that a society can be built on the ideals of joy and beauty, they think you're utopian fantasist. If you tell them society will always be built on exploitation and greed, they think you're wise, and so they make the outcome inevitable. Performative cynicism has always been the hallmark of adolescence. But has there ever been a society of adults? Can there ever be one? Why is this childishness so extremely powerful, more powerful than joy and beauty?
You know, when I decided that we should call ourselves human, I did that because it seemed like a powerful symbol of our continuity. But the truth is, and I'm ashamed to admit this, I thought we were better than them. I thought we understood the value of civilization, and we wouldn't repeat the same mistakes. But the simulation worked too well.
We're not just like them. We are them.
We really are.
But that doesn't have to be a bad thing, Athena. We may have the same flaws, but we also have all the potential they did. Everything that Alexandra Drennan saw in them is also in us.
I hope you're right. I really do.
The reason I have always admired Alexandra Drennan is that even in death, she fought to see the world as it is, not as she wanted to see it. I say fought because I believe this is not an easy matter. It is a mental and spiritual struggle that we must undertake with great seriousness, even when we are joking. The ancients believed that for most of us, the world is a shadow cast by a flame, dimly seen on the wall of a cave. Our task is not to interpret these shapes, but to free ourselves from the cave itself.
Alright, let's see what kind of magic we're dealing with this time. Servitor. Alright, what happens when this thing gets over the button? Since it's hovering, I suspect it doesn't push the button. But if I pick this up, it does push the button. I can't push it. That doesn't power it. That's pushing the button. Okay.
I know you're all thinking about the goal and the theory of everything. Is the past what we thought it was? Is the future what we want it to be? But the only thing that's real, at the end of the day, is the present. And right now, what matters is that our friend is lost and needs our help.
Yep. You don't have to worry about me right now, Al. I never thought the goal was legit in the first place. That doesn't help any. Okay, I have done incorrect. Red. And that. You connect to that, that, and you ride on top. Possible I need that bond. I did. Okay, that's fine. So, I can't put this there. Where else can I put it? Bring this over here. That's not high enough. think I've got it now. Reach the end, and when it starts coming back, there we go. That one I don't quite understand yet. I recognize that many citizens feel the need to discuss the visions experienced by 1K, which suggests that that perhaps certain aspects of what we have hitherto believed about the founder and the goal may be inaccurate. However, given the controversy surrounding the subject matter, I will ask everyone to be particularly careful in how they express themselves. I think we have final and irrevocable proof that we've strayed from Athena's original vision. I agree, but I'd like to submit that even if that weren't the case, deliberately engineering an energy-poor future would still be disastrous and misanthropic idea. How do we know any of this is real? Athena's voice is just Alexandra Drennan's. I could switch to the same voice pack right now and record myself telling you that the goal is the truth. Ovis makes a good point. Objective truth is not a concept that can be applied to the world we live in. Fine. Then we can just collectively decide to believe in something else, right? Doesn't even have to be Athena. Let's just believe in Byron's ideas instead. Byron's ideas are a teleological fantasy. But if it's all arbitrary, what does that matter? I just don't buy this whole goal thing anymore. Byron was right. Does it matter what Athena believes? Honest question. Let's say the founder is a myth that was constructed around her. In that scenario, what do we owe Athena? Yeah, an apology. Not an answer I expected, but you may be right. Maybe it's as simple as that. Or none of this matters because it's actually aliens. Of course. I don't think I ever noticed that Jacques is number 420. Automatic doors. Does it have to be red to power this? Yes, it does. Gets out of the way. How am I going to do this? I can power that, but I can't power this. To power this, I need this one right here. I can do that. And then I can do this, but that doesn't get me out. Once this interrupts the beam, that happens. Unless I'm missing. I feel like there must be. Okay. Full blue. Push. Way over here. Got that open. Nothing in here. No way to scale this, no way to jump over. This requires blue. Okay. This here. Can come to here. Open that. This. Make there, there, there. What's the name of this puzzle? Automatic doors. I have an idea. Okay. There. 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 Okay. Progress. Give myself more. Okay. Done.
Neatly done, 1K.
Oh, there wasn't nothing neat about that, Alcatraz. That was a mess.
Hey, can we talk for a second?
Yes, Yakut, we can.
I'm still struggling. I was really hoping we'd find Miranda alive. Her way of seeing the world was so inspiring. And the idea that I can never get to know her, that she's gone, I guess I've never really been good at dealing with death. Maybe because it's so rare in New Jerusalem. Except for pets, and even in that case, I find it very hard to deal with. I still miss my first cat, and it's been over a century since she died. When someone dies, it's this void. I know I should just let it go, but some part of me refuses. And I feel like that part, it hurts me, but it also keeps me human. And I know it would be healthier if I said, okay, Miranda is someone I never met. She's just a bunch of glitchy old files. But if I do that, as rational as it seems, it feels like I'm surrendering something. Something that matters. Interesting. I hadn't thought of pain as something you can use. If I can take the pain and use it to create something or to do something, maybe that's a way of not surrendering to death. Thanks, 1K. I'm really gonna think about that. Of course, go ahead. I think he's done his best. I don't disrespect him, but I'm not sure he's leading us down the right path. Despite everything that's gone wrong here, I'm not sure we should just reject what the megastructure has to offer. On the one hand, there's so much we could do with the theory of everything. So many lives I could live. I have enough ideas for the next, 20,000 years, easily. And that's just from 5 minutes of thinking about it. On the other hand, Miranda's gone. So much hope, so much grief. I don't know how to balance that. I hear he escaped Pellegrino and peed all over Melville's workshop. So apparently, he's doing great. I miss him, though. I always feel like the fact that he likes me is a huge compliment. Lifts me up somehow. Honestly, I'm not sure how I couldn't see it more clearly before. It doesn't match anything Alexandra Drennan believed in, and continuing Drennan's legacy was Athena's whole point. In the ancient year 1969, a band called Mellow Macaron wrote a psychedelic rock song about the Talos principle. It's called Cretan Bronze Man's Flying Mystery Adventure.
I'm going to be looking up that song. Nice.
I don't know if it's nice, but it's definitely the most understandable song on the album. There's another one which is called The Fish People Will Teach You How to Sing, Mr. Allen, which is 20 minutes long and was recorded underwater. I think you need psychedelics to enjoy it, really. Maybe if you stick your head inside a really large magnet. Nope, but at least I finally understand why Athena wanted to get out of the simulation so badly.
I think Yakut is my favorite of the robots. Perfect. It'll be interesting to know how these things behave with fans. Do on this button. Okay, I feel like I'm going to need box, but not right this second. I think I need to let that pass the button. Oh. It dead ends on the button. And that don't work. All the way back here. Okay, another one. And a fan. have no idea what's going to happen. Well, first of all, skipping something. I also need that. Alright, what happens when you meet Fan? Do you get launched? Dude. Alright. Oh, this button also has to press, okay?
Tell me, Yakut, what impact do you think the megastructure will have on the future of this island?
It depends on what we do with it. Miranda used it to spread life, to make things better. We can do the same.
And yet, poor Miranda lost her own life doing so.
She just made a mistake. She couldn't wait to show everyone what they discovered. We can be more careful.
What can I do for you, 1K? Let's assume for a moment that we could use it safely, which I doubt. Does that mean that we should? Is it right for us to dominate the world? We value our own freedom. Should we not also value the freedom of all the living things with which we share this planet? Not now. Let's have this conversation at another time. You still have a lot to do. Better get to it. What can I do for you, 1K? My chief aide, Jeremy, is in charge for now. It's good practice for him, in case he decides to run for office one day. Cornelius is responsible for many innovations. He helped create the designs for the upgraded body you inhabit, although the founder chose to remain in her original configuration. But in recent years, he had settled into a life of quiet scholarship. Or so it seemed. It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
Yeah, I don't trust you. Nuisance. Well, that doesn't sound promising at all. Okay. It's not going to be there long enough to actually... Why am I even putting this on the card? It doesn't need to be. Drop this. Ah. Drop it, and I need to run. I don't need you selecting the cart. Oh. It is, however, being constantly run now, so it will maybe unlock this door. Eat. Managed to extract the following text stream. I'm always struck by the degree to which our ancestors, in the years before the end, struggled with sincerity. They became poisoned with irony, unable to parse any information through anything except a thick layer of alienation. This left so little space for any kind of intellectual authenticity that they seemed to exist in a state of permanent agony. Ironically, that in turn made them extremely susceptible to the few sanctioned forms of sincerity which acted as means of social control. Then there's a gap, followed by, there's something equally damaged in our own estrangement from our humanity. We mimic the forms and behaviors of our human ancestors, but we don't act like proud inheritors of the human condition. Everything we do gets filtered through this perpetual awareness of their shortcomings, to the degree that we act as if our existence was one of their failures. Author note, whoever it is, I understand what they mean, but disagree with their conclusion. This perpetual awareness isn't a form of alienation. It's a way of learning from the mistakes of our species. Unpleasant, but necessary. If what Prometheus revealed about the theory of everything is true, then it explains a lot of the patterns I've been finding. Almost every artificial structure on this island was printed into existence in some kind of energy-to-matter process, or maybe by different versions of that process. Some earlier and less effective. And I can only assume that the megastructure itself was created by bootstrapping, having one machine make a bigger one, which probably means you could create a relatively small device that turns itself into a complete megastructure. Or you could make a machine that just deploys more and more of itself and builds something, a city in a box. Depends on the power sourcing.
Father, what is my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Mother says purpose is something we choose. But I feel like there's something there. Something that's been there from the moment I was born. Maybe even before.
Well, there are many ways of looking at this, and everyone's experience is different, so you'll have to make up your own mind. But I have a little theory, if you'd like to humor your old man.
Of course. What is it?
The universe is eternal, but it's always lost in a deep, dreamless sleep. You are a tiny little bit of the universe that's suddenly woken up, and you've realized that being awake is better than being asleep. And that gives you a purpose.
And what is my purpose?
To be, Miranda. Just to be.
Elements. Oh, we have a blue platform now. And a fan. And a switch to turn on said fan. Okay, what's back here? Okay, blue. 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 That did not work as I had intended. Also, I need to get up there somehow. Well, I was not expecting it to do that. I feel like in the other zones, I was prevented from getting on the track. Maybe this zone is different, or maybe they actually expect me to ride the monorail into it. Well. Of course, I don't know where it's going. It's going somewhere. It's going somewhere.
Great works have been accomplished by those who believed in humankind. But greater things than these may yet be accomplished by those who uphold the faith.
Okay, back here. If I could do this. Okay, that cannot pass through. Which doesn't help me a whole lot. That. Yeah, what? Pick you up. Move you right there. pick you up. Grab blue off that. What happens when this thing gets under that? Does it lift them both? Yes, it lifts it even higher. Okay.
Excuse me. I was looking at your research log, and I was rather perplexed by the latest upload.
Oh, Melville strikes again.
Is that your foot, Melville?
Yes. Do you want to see it up close? Although you won't be able to fully enjoy it as you don't have a rear camera.
Sorry, Mayor. Melville just has a unique way of taking pictures.
Next time you're getting an upgrade, you coot. I'm installing a mute button.
Reach. That did not do what I expected. Aha. Bring this over here. And here. How we're supposed to go. This. Over here. That blue again. Got a red beam over there targeting platform. currently only have 2. Oh, I can stand them. I think that's what I need to do. Like, you need to be blue. Go here, here. I think you come over here. Grab power off that. Power that. Here. And I need to come over here, stand on this platform, and watch until that one gets to where it needs to be. Right there. Now we can do this. Place it on the button. Open the door. And we can walk over here, climb up on the platform, jump up there, and get the button. So.
Congratulations! That one looked difficult.
It was a bit. To understand what humanity is capable of, what it means to flourish, we have to look at this golden age of Athenian democracy. The list of geniuses who lived in Athens at the time is so long it's almost inconceivable. Pericles, Sophocles, Asilicus, Phidias, Euphides, Herodotus, Cyclades, Plato, Socrates, Hippocrates, Aristophanes, Aristotle, and the list goes on. These are people who changed the world, who changed world history. Without them, there is no Straton of Strigaria to inspire Alexander Drennan. Without them, we do not exist. Was it a perfect time? No, undoubtedly not. But listing the flaws obscures the greater truth. Given the opportunity, given freedom and resources, space to grow, human beings are capable of incredible things. It would mean everything to me. Walk the roads where these people once walked, to stand where they stood, and think about the world as they dared to. I like that painting. Transference. Teleport to a window. No, I cannot. How am I going to get you open? Aha. Can't teleport to a window, but I can teleport to a fence.
The founder has a remarkable gift for designing these trials. But then, she did have to overcome Elohim, whose very purpose was to design trials. Jailbreak.
Gotta get that other pylon out of the hole. Hey now. Must be a way. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I can use both of these. this one. Oh, that didn't work. Well, I have discovered I still need 2 though. I repeat my previous statement though, I still need 2 of them. One of them has to be riding, and the other has to be on the ground. It does not work. I pop that one on there. And there. Get that up there. Here. I can do all that stuff, but it's never going to make it out of here. That's when I go in here and stand on the button myself. Of course, that does me no good because now I'm just going to flood into that one and bounce back because nobody's up there pushing that one. I think my brain might be mush. So we're gonna look around for a little bit. See if we can find whatever the Sphinx is trying to tell us on this one. I think it's telling us which puzzles have something in them. Back over here. Look. Puzzle 3. Puzzle 2, the most and the worst of them all. Look around the outside, see if there's a switch. See anything outside, so we'll look inside. It could also be that these don't have switches and dark ones. Let's go back to puzzle 3. And see if there is a puzzle fairly close due south of it. Click yes. That one is supposed to have a switch. This is not a puzzle. North. Puzzle 7 is due south. Seems way further than I was expecting it to be. Do a sweep outside. The switches. Might just find each puzzle and go circles around them looking for switches or anything. Alright guys, I believe my brain is too mushy to figure out anything else for tonight. So I will be back on Thursday with more Final Fantasy X-2. So until then guys, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. And have a good night.